All right, welcome back. Stacey, you are no stranger to the show, and thank you so much for coming on.
Stacey used to run the show.
Stacey used to literally run the show.
Alone.
And now she's back there with an incredible team who I always say is the backbone of the company, running, getting all the deals done, making everything happen behind the scenes. Every piece of paper that you guys submit in, Stacey, somebody on the team.
Judges.
Yes. Silently judges. But I want to thank you for coming on and talking about this with us.
Yeah, thanks, Stacey. So I was talking to Stacey last week because we were having a meeting and asked her to come on because obviously there's a lot of deals being done right now. Yes. And just from general conversations I have with you, there are so many little things that people can do to make the process smoother. And you don't like to see people frustrated, and somebody is concerned as to why this didn't happen. And some of these solutions are so easy. Yeah. So you said that you'd be willing to come on and just set the record straight. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's start from the top. Let's talk about listings. I know that we say the conveyance department. It's actually listings and conveyance.
Yes.
So apologize for that. Tell us about listing request forms. What tips you got on that?
They need to be submitted for all listings. Realtors often forget to submit it when they're relisting a property, but that's even more important because it tells us that you are relisting your property. And then we can go look and make sure that maybe you already have a copy of title, and we can already pull that title from your previous listing. But if we don't know it's a previous listing, then we can't pull your copy of title. And we can't match up that you actually have to sign up on the property already. So it's very important to submit your listing request for new listings and relist.
So you have a listing that went expired or you terminated and relisted it, and they're not submitting a new listing request form.
No. So it's very important to submit your listing request form.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of finger waving that goes on.
I know.
Don't do that. Or make
We're
sure
pretty
you do
good at figuring things out, but this makes things easier for us if you just submit your listing request.
You get less alerts.
And it gets faster, right? Yeah. Everything is just moves along a lot faster.
And submitting your listing request will help you in the future with the listing uploads.
Perfect.
So talk about trade record sheets.
Please submit them before you submit your offers to us. Very important. Before
you submit your documentation.
Yes. Before you submit the offer, submit your trade sheet. Just one that allows you to upload documents if you submit your trade sheet. But also two, that means we don't have to ask you for it.
Right.
And then we can't enter it without your trade sheet because it's very important. There's a special number on there that we've got to put in our system. So it's very important to put your trade sheet in before we get your offer.
So something else to stop delays.
Yes.
I just always want to make a point too, on a sub point on that, is that the actual deposit, we can't accept it unless we have the offer. And so some people actually send in their deposit check sometimes or have their clients drop it off, and we're supposed to do something with that deposit check, but we can't because we don't have the conditions of trust. We don't even know who's supposed to be holding the deposit, and if you tell us verbally, it's not enough. Both people have to agree to it in writing. So make sure that all that paperwork is there before we get the deposit check.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're right.
You're right.
All right, commenting on these things.
We love comments.
Because you have a comment box at the bottom of
on both.
This is my favorite out of all of your
points. So the trade sheet, so when we talk about entering a sale, when we call the trade record sheet, this is probably good too.
Enter a sale, and what is it?
Submit a listing.
Submit a listing and enter a sale.
Right. And there's input forms there, and at the bottom is a comment box.
Yes.
What should people put in there?
You're giving money to your buyers. You're reducing your commissions. They're a customer. You're giving a referral. Anything. You want to tell us anything about that deal? Tell us. We love comments. We read them all. So it's very important. On listings.
Do you have anything nice to say about you guys?
Yeah. We'd like comments like that too. Listing request forms. Hey, like where you want your sign. Put that in the comments. You want your sign up. You want to put your request in for your sign today, but you want it up in a week. Put that in there too. The sign company reads that.
Wow.
So use the comments. Do most people use comments?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So you can even put where you want the sign placed in there, and the sign company will get that information.
Yes, especially it's important with condos because if you can have a sign up on the condo, sometimes there's different places to put it. If you have a specific spot, because if not, the sign company just picks where they put the sign.
Right.
They try their best to figure out where to place a sign, but if they don't have any instructions, then it's wherever it goes. So
perfect.
Document uploads.
we like everything in their individual folder. Multiple documents in multiple folders, that means we got to revoke it and say, sorry, please upload individual folders. We check every document that's uploaded. Chris checks every flagged document that's uploaded. Everything's checked. So if you're going to send us a document by email and upload it, that's just extra work. Because one person will check the uploads, one person will check the emails. Might not be the same person.
Right.
So then we both get both documents and we go, oh, we've got them both. So just one guys.
So either upload or email. Don't do both.
Mm-hmm.
And unless the system doesn't let you upload a document, you have a second amendment or something like that, make sure you email that in.
Or if you don't know where it's supposed to go, email it to us. And you don't have to use the upload system.
Yeah.
Some people think that they have to use it. You don't have to. If you feel more comfortable emailing us the documents, email it to us. We know where they go.
Just pick one.
And we want to be easy to do business with as well. We're not forcing you guys. And if you have any questions or anything else, we'll talk about that at the end here. But that's great. Okay, talk about submitting lawyer information.
A lot of realtors like to email us the lawyer information, and sometimes it's just a real lawyer's name, or they'll email us a paralegal's name, or they just give us a law office. We need them submitted online. Our system doesn't have all of them, and it's actually just our back-end list of all lawyers, but it's very important that you submit it to us online. One, it goes into the deal automatically. Two, we actually, when we're conveying a file, we include that lawyer submission sheet with our conveyancing documents, because lawyers like to know where we got their information from.
Yeah. Where do people submit that?
On their transactions. So there's this little action button that lets you do a bunch of things on your transactions, and you click there, and one of those options is to submit lawyer information.
And then on the listings, there's also action buttons that allow you to do a bunch of things as well.
Yes.
So if you guys have a transaction in there, you have your listings in there. Not if, obviously you do, but
Yeah.
it's like take a look at that action button and explore what options you have. So that's great. That's absolutely awesome.
Stacey taught me all about the action buttons last week.
Yeah.
We're
Action.
adding an action button.
I used to like video games that had one button in the arcade. It says action. And I'm like, I can do that.
Just button smash the
Just
action button.
Action. So that's what it's like here at CIR. Just you want action, click the button.
And also, too, on the lawyer submission page, there's a link at the bottom of the page that lets you know that if that lawyer is not showing up in that drop-down, to submit it through there. And that'll prompt us to kind of go and look, because usually if I get a lawyer not in system submission, I go and look. Most times it's because they're a paralegal. Or once in a while, somebody spells McKay wrong, and
Yes,
that he's
it's not
not a lawyer.
MAC. It's MAC, not MC.
They're like, I can't find him. He's there.
Cool. So moving on, and this is a tough word. Please review is the tough word. Transactions and listings.
Yeah, I mean, we're only human. We sometimes do make mistakes. So please review your online transactions and listings. Make sure your commissions are right. Make sure we have the right dates in there.
Yep.
Make sure we have the right spellings. That's important too. Sometimes, I mean, there's 12 letters in somebody's last name, and I don't know how to pronounce it. I really try really hard to make sure I spell it right. But 12, 14, sometimes there's even more letters. I mean, what if we just swapped one? It's very important to review your listings and transactions. Also, listings allows you to see if there's a sign on the property. Sometimes we miss that, and sometimes then realtors go, hey, my sign didn't get ordered down. I didn't know you had a sign. So listings, make sure you review to see if we've got our
Awesome. So
sign.
they can go in and double check the documents, click on the actual transaction, take a look at the paperwork that it has, and then if there's anything that's incorrect.
paperwork too.
Yeah. Oh, not in the paperwork, but yeah, and at least, well, you check your paperwork. Obviously.
Also, yeah, on your transactions, it'll tell you if we've conveyed files, if we're conveying files, but it also tells you when we have, and also lets you know if the lawyers have viewed the documents. We get, on our backside, we see all of the times that those documents have been opened because we email them. So every time they click on the link in our email, we see that they've opened it. So sometimes it could be 10 or 15 times. You just see one time that they've opened it, but they could have opened it many more times than that.
Perfect.
Do you ever see people who just don't open them enough, and you're like, these people haven't looked at this?
We do. Actually, we get notified every 3 days.
Wow.
That our documents haven't been opened, whether it's an invoicing to the builders, invoicing to other real estate companies, or invoicing or they're conveyancing to lawyers. And so
That's
we
incredible.
know if they haven't opened our documents.
It's like there's some processes that are happening behind the scenes here. It's like
Yeah.
people are like, oh, you guys should do this different. You guys should do this better. We got a lot of stuff going on.
That's
There's a lot of
incredible.
files coming in. You know, we do our best, and we continue to make incremental
Love that.
improvements as well. Okay, last point here. Talk about complete files.
We get a lot of emails. So if you're going to send all your documents in individual folders, or individual emails, I should say, sometimes there's other realtors doing that at the exact same time. I mean, like today, I think we had about 150 emails. So when we go through those emails and we go one by one, we don't realize 5 emails from now, you've sent another part of your documents. So they get printed off at separate times, so they'll get processed at separate times. So it's important to kind of make sure they're all together.
Yeah, so collect all your paperwork at once and get it submitted. And the best thing, I'll just say from a process standpoint of sitting with the client, get all your paperwork done at once. Like people that are just like, oh, I'll do this later, I'll do FinTrack later, I'll do anything. What are you doing? Like, it's the most inefficient way to do business ever. We have this great place at CIR under the listing and conveyance section. I'm pointing up here. You can't really see it, but click on listing and conveyance and go to the paperwork process at CIR.
It is good.
And it shows everything. What happens when I sell one of my own listings? What happens when I sell another company's listings? What do I do? It has everything there. And you need to do that at the beginning. You need to do that before you sell that person's listing, so you know all the paperwork you need to have. And yes, it's a lot of documentation for the client, but get it done, because then everything's there and you don't have to go back and forth. There's nothing more inefficient than that.
And then you don't get flags.
And you don't get
Realtors
flags.
don't like flags.
Yeah, it's so funny because some realtors are just like immune to the flags and all the pages and the emails they get, and some realtors are just like OCD. I like you OCD realtors for the most part are just like, I got a flag, the pit of my stomach, my world is falling down. There's probably a healthy balance, but get them in.
That
Get
is true,
them
and
in.
there's some realtors that could have 100 flags. I'm like, meh.
I'll get it to you before it pays out.
Yeah, and you don't get paid, and some of them we just won't. You'll get huge harassment on it. So
One big thing for listings is if you have a current copy of title, submit it with your listing, because we can't process any listings without a title. And there are realtors who we pull titles for when they submit their listing documents, and that's fine. But if you said yes on your listing request that you have a copy of title, please send it in, because we will pull it so we can process it.
We don't have it. We got to know. We're protecting your clients. We got to pull it.
We got to make sure that they can sell the house.
That's right. That's right. Stacey,
Can I mention one thing that
Yeah,
has nothing to
please.
do with listings and conveyance? Just because we're talking about systems. On our feature sheet request form, while I have your attention, I'm taking advantage of the situation. Please don't submit a request for a feature sheet unless your property is active. It's very, very difficult for us. There's some people that are like, this is the MLS number, but it's not going active until next Monday, but I want my feature sheets made today. Our process for that is very, very, very tough. So just so you guys know, please do make sure that that is active and then submit your request. Otherwise, everything is being pulled manually. We don't have all the correct information. And some of it is a little bit of a guesswork. So while we were talking about checking things over, and I just thought.
Stacey, you guys are doing an awesome job. Thank you so much. There's continual improvements coming to this. We're working on it. So any challenges you guys have, trust me, we know about them. And you have Stacey. Stacey's our list queen. She has a list of improvements and things like that. So you're being heard. It's just a matter of getting everything in the queue.
Yeah. Thank you, Stacey.
Yeah, and
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Thanks.
At ease. All right. So we are done today, and we'll be back
today.
next week. And a big thank you to Scott from Copper Creek, and a big thank you to Stacey and your entire team for doing it. I'll shout their names out. Kathy Hearn, Mumta. We have Lisa back there. What's Mumta's last name? How do we pronounce it?
C-churn?
Where I hope you're not watching Mumta. We just butchered that.
Lisa Purdy.
Lisa Purdy, Tammy
Tammy
Bates, Chris Mortensen running the show, and obviously Cindy Palombi and Alma Rodriguez is holding down the fort back there too. So
For accounting. Separate department too.
But they pay out. It's all the files go to the same thing.
Conveyancing is just a 5-person team plus Chris. So I mean, we're not connected with accounting.
We're working on cohesion here. All right, Stacey, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have an awesome week. We'll talk to you guys soon.